Sefa inchansen papa ya de bodan so padia enwane adable roofings and resist heat and afe enfedi so ni color bond material or de bodan so nti oma 25-year guarantee a ema wa rechemu fre 0248 944 710 esa your WhatsApp number fre adable nani wo mu ni edwa.
Ebusiafo na so bia wo ye ma obibia kwa ba esan so emomatena se baby a wo hwe me free bia samre se oteka mu se wo nam akwan so se wo wa afie mu na wo hwe me ya na enchia so nkopa enkoma wo yegusua etie nsembi se nsembi na trending se wo me anopai ana se abrebia be wo me bia na trending news ana se trending stories nko a na maame ya kesiwa me de brew na ebia na ene de kan ya wo hwe me amedin de maame ya kesiwa ba kopa me ba bia de me ana brebia mbetena se na nsem no de ekoso ne de etwago bia no me nso me wewe mu na me de brew na ya sorry ya Ghana man panyini akasa Ghana man panyini edi nkomo bebre na se de wo hwe ma na 23rd inhyemu a oni ye hia etoso aduonu miensa pepepe entia no ena Ghana man panyini na adodankwa ekufuado ene yen ehia ye no wode ensem bebre agugu akwan mu na mekenkan kakra edi amawo na afenso yakọ ne yakwakohwe video ne bi na afenso ye de etwemu amawo eno nti ma yenkohwe video ne bi na yembra ne ba menkenkan ensem ne bi emfanto aso ema osesie.
Fellow Ghanaians, good evening. I came into your homes on 17th January to give an account of our COVID-19 situation, a situation which, per available data at the time, was not good. To this end, I appeal to you, my fellow Ghanaians, to help contain the spread of the virus by respecting the protocols government had put in place. The hope was that we would begin to see an improvement in our case count as a result. 2 weeks on from that address, the situation is even worse. As of Friday, 29th January, 64 more people have sadly died over the last 2 weeks, bringing the total number of confirmed deaths to 416. Our hospitalization rates are increasing, with the number of critically ill and severely ill persons now at 172. Our hospitals have become full, and we have had to reactivate our isolation centers. Our average daily rates of infection now stand at 700 compared to 200 2 weeks ago. The total number of active cases has more than doubled from a little over 1,900 2 weeks ago to 5,358 currently. When I delivered update number 22, 13 out of the 16 regions had recorded active cases. Today, all 16 regions have active cases. Indeed, Greater Accra, Central, Western, Ashanti, Eastern, Upper East, Upper West, Volta, and Northern regions are the hardest hit, accounting for 94% of the total number of active cases. In effect, fellow Ghanaians, we have a lot of work to do in coming to grips with the disease. Given that recent studies show that the UK and other new variants are being transmitted within the population, we should all understand that our current situation could get very dire if efforts are not made, both on the part of government and by you, the citizenry, to help contain the virus. The analysis continues to tell us that the spread of the virus mostly occurs in indoor confined spaces with poor ventilation, where people are talking, singing, or shouting without their masks. The imposition of restrictions on our daily routines helped in reducing the prevalence of the pandemic in the country. And government has been left with no option but to reintroduce some of these restrictions in order to help save the situation. I know these measures in the recent past were unpleasant, but over a period they resulted in a favorable situation for the country. We have to return to them. So, fellow Ghanaians, until further notice, funerals, weddings, concerts, theatrical performances, and parties are banned. Private burials with no more than 25 people can take place with the enforcement of the social distancing, hygiene, and mask-wearing protocols. Beaches, nightclubs, cinemas, and pubs continue to be shut. Our borders by land and sea remain closed. All workplaces, public and private, must employ a shift system for workers, in addition to the use of virtual platforms for business or work. Conferences and workshops can take place with all the appropriate protocols. However, I encourage the use of virtual platforms for such engagements. Restaurants should provide takeaway services and should, as much as possible, avoid seated services. The National Sports Authority and the Ghana Football Association should ensure compliance with the 25% capacity rule in our stadia, with spectators respecting the social distancing rule and wearing of masks. To the revered leaders of our religious organizations, that is our churches and mosques, I entreat you to enforce to the letter the protocols relating to attendance, i.e. the 2-hour duration, 1 meter social distancing, mask wearing, use of sanitizers, and the presence of Veronica buckets, liquid soaps, and rolls of tissue paper. I note that since the reopening of our schools 2 weeks ago, we've witnessed only few reports of cases among students. I appeal to school authorities and teachers to enforce the guidelines provided by the Ghana Education Service, and I urge the Ghana Health Service to continue their surveillance at the schools so we can contain any reported cases. As we step up public education and enforcement of the protocols and public gatherings, let me also state that regulatory agencies will undertake random checks to ensure conformity with these rules, and the security services will be tasked to enforce them. You do not have to be arrested by the police before you wear your mask. Your workplace should not be closed for non-conformity with the protocols. If there's no urgent reason for you to be outside, please stay at home. Each one of us can help to contain the spread if we continue to practice the measures of social distancing, washing our hands with soap under running water, refraining from shaking hands, and wearing our masks whenever we leave our homes. These measures must be respected by all. I urge you, my fellow Ghanaians, to continue to pay attention to your health, improve your fitness levels, and eat our local foods that boost your immunity. Should you at any time feel unwell or exhibit the most common symptoms of COVID-19, such as fever, dry cough, tiredness, please report to the nearest health facility and get tested. COVID-19 tests are free for all Ghanaians at public health institutions. If a Ghanaian citizen returns a positive result, the cost of care at isolation and treatment centers will be borne by government. At the 58th Summit of the Authority of ECOWAS Heads of State and Government, held virtually, it was agreed that the cost of the COVID test for inbound ECOWAS nationals be pegged at $50 United States at the Kotoka International Airport. The cost of the tests for non-ECOWAS nationals still remains $150 United States dollars. ECOWAS nationals and travelers who test positive will bear the cost of the mandatory isolation and treatment. Ghanaian nationals, however, who test positive upon their arrival into the country will have their isolation and treatment costs borne by the state. Fellow Ghanaians, in update number 21, I indicated that Ghana is set to procure her first consignment of the COVID-19 vaccines within the first half of this year. Since then, a lot of work has been done towards the realization of this. Our aim is to vaccinate the entire population with an initial target of 20 million people. Through bilateral and multilateral means, we're hopeful that by the end of June, a total of 17,600,000 vaccine doses would have been procured for the Ghanaian people. The earliest vaccine will be in the country by March. The Food and Drugs Authority, FDA, will use its established processes for granting emergency use authorization for each vaccine in Ghana. As President of the Republic, I assure you that only vaccines that have been evaluated and declared as safe for use in Ghana will be administered. Government will continue to monitor our COVID-19 situation and will remain resolved in ensuring that we are able to return to normal daily routines. I remain hopeful that if each one of us embraces fully the safety protocols and we continue to put our faith in the Almighty, we will emerge strongly from this pandemic. And Rianom, if Ibra minemo kasaya no, na ochi mienu niye, yare no eye hu ba, fa na efa nipa, misramo, mo obi amfa yare no indi agro. Mundi hyehyɛ no so, ni titiriw, mo hyɛ mask no, ɛno ɛna ɛbɛboa yɛn. Nyame me, otie nyone, ni kenya wie. Hela efe gbeye, ikemen yawa, ni panify, moko ke hela akashwe. Nye yamlano, ni titiriw, mask we, no bab wawo. My faith in God tells me that this too shall pass, for the battle is the Lord's. May God bless us all in our homeland Ghana and make her great and strong. I thank you for your attention.
And then not making kind be at the amount hanoma na or say Akufo-Addo's 23rd address to the nation on measures to fight against coronavirus. President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo addressed the nation for the 23rd time on the measures his government has taken combat and spread of the novel COVID-19 among Ghanaians. In his address, the president announced restrictions on funerals, weddings, concerts, theatrical performance, and parties until further notice. Metwaso Hanuma. Private burials with no more than 25 people can take place with the enforcement of the social distancing, hygiene, and mask wearing protocols. Say there Ushimwa na Ghana man pengini and so and somewhere walking na se video I may play and in somewhere making kangina say dear Ghana man pengini say or she said dear yare no kwa na ekosro na was what didn't maybe egugu akwemu na say dear mo we ye mo anya no maybe a chamu and I say yenya ye be yen from lockdown no mo anya ye ni na say dear ye no mon train till further notice sanso and a ma mo wo ba ma mo bie ba montimi en contain nipa more than 25 inti say dear ni nyina no until further notice also ntimi nya adwuma parties weddings then ebi na mebobo so no mu nyina eye nkofo a say de Nana Addo Dankwa Ekufu Addo a ɔyɛ Ghana man panyini ɛse said ya beya Ghana betimi aboa ye ni etimi aboa ye ho ban afri yare COVID-19 na ho no san hwehwe ye wei ena wo se ye de gu akwan mu na abere bia no ye pia ye make sure say social distancing no ye be ma na ye adwuma ye make sure say ye be hye ye nose mask na ye make sure say ye de sanitizer e be fefa ye nsem abere bia na etimi ye clean ye aboa ye ho ban afri yare COVID-19 enso ho enti wakan za nsem we nyina na ye bisa se ye betimi akọ concert ni bia na se theater na o se da bi mo kohwe movies ni ade no ni nyina no se ye abane eno till further notice enti se otie ni ya bebobo nema bebre so me kan weddings me kan concerts me kan parties me kan funerals sanso na me kan weddings enti ni nyina ebia say de COVID-19 ninti no e was ye hold on kakra e kopem se nana do dan kwasa babio na oni ebedi nkoma yetimi achirechim na no weekend ya ensem bi sisi na ya satete ensem bi na in fact ema na omoye omoto ene ema na omoye ye omafu ene ema na in fact oto o se mehwene sua e wo se me kwatwe mehwene mu kakra e wo se me koye mani kakra e wo se me ye me face kakra ne ade no se de ente ya yetie ene se asemu a trende ene de yetie ne se Dr. Obenfo Dr. Obenfo make wa akoye bi da wonim asema make se de Dr. Obenfo so baby a na wodi ne djuma no anase ne hospital a na odi ye adjuma no ho nso ye bia say de ye de ye nsato so ya close all because emrase enyema bia na wo so de gugu akwema na se papers bia na wo senka ode eba no approve no wentimi improvisa papers na nkyere se CEO yi anase Dr. Dominic Obenfo do na friend Dr. Obenfo say de na djuma no ya tum kyere se woni insurance na so woni writer e was what the bie sa hospital na what the ebie no enti say de ye tete eno no nyame na meka it is alleged enti Dr. Obenfo aye hu say de yetimi ache no ya close down the hospital no enti say de wa we ya woto akakra na was ko renew na ko pompe na ko yende we no say de se minim sa asem na ya to se de na ya siu ene na eye wa ujejireje de ekosolo no eti de within this week the trendy and asensamwa enam social media ena mabobo ni nyina tofa media be onti se wonim Dr. Obenfo nso a ma yemfa ne mfonyini no ento so na also share mfonyini ni bi efree ho na eno ene de eda ho no mo no nti share Dr. Obenfo a sa mani ana meka na asem Dr. Dominic Andono ana meka na asem nti say the Dr. Obenfo Hospital ana say CEO na ankasa no the yet and say a police for de nensa akana say the e wo say wo mo ye hwehwemu ewie ansa na watimi atwa na dwumadie so a watwa so Kwame Eugene enso ensem bia trende na no ne ete say Kwame Eugene enso ne papa bi aba abonten anase papa bi aba abonten wo claim say eye ne ba anase Kwame Eugene papa eno no Kwame Eugene ba abonten be clear ne say dey bi papa minim me papa sanso na minim me maame enti besra wa so po bi aye oba enye me Kwame Eugene na yesa da sorry ya Kwame Eugene de nsem bi so aba abonten wo se wo no de emre bi ano wo ba so no anase ansana obeye Kwame Eugene no na wo se ode ne ti ahwim wo abra no wadi 18 years asem a one Abeku Santana tenase na oye interview na sa asem nyina pie mu na de no wo kan nyina ne se wo se emre bia na etwam no na abusua no na de ewo fie na edin na emu edin kakra nti na wo se odi 18 years no ono as a man no or step it out ekope bibi na oye na ne dreams e woni tim no etimi eye adwuma eti Kwame Eugene say enye easy na mum ono free 18 years no free yenso nyame adom oye ne Kwame Eugene enti eno eso ene nsemwa say the trend e social media na nsemwa beto aso bia e COVID-19 hono nso enche medini nyina nso ebebrew eneya eno nti koswa ne hwe dwumedie wetimi ahweye bi e wo Facebook yedi no eye Oheneba 1 TV sanso ena obetimi ahwe YouTube edi no Oheneba Media sanso ena Asanteman online so obetimi ahwe efree ho koswa na hwedwumadi aboafo P Diamonds also yasenepa sanso ena seda shipping eboyen adabo roofing and so eboye medwumadi abebi etimi edebrew medi edema me yakisiwa ba kopra me be the Virgin Lady 1 meda se Sauje bre na hwe me